Good afternoon, grade 7. Welcome to our lesson for this day, which is the absolute value of a number. And the absolute value, it describes the distance of a number on the number line from 0 without considering which direction from 0 the number lies. And the absolute value of a number is never negative. So, hindi niya sinabing positive kasi how about 0? So 0 is either positive and negative. That's why the absolute value of a number is never negative. The absolute value of a number is denoted by 2 bars. Ayan yung mga bar. And the absolute value of 6 means is 6 also. And the absolute value of negative 6 is also 6 because the absolute value of a number is never negative. And the absolute value of negative 2 minus x. So, kung ano yung magiging sagot dyan, kahit negative pa yan sa loob ng absolute value, so the absolute value of that number is positive. And negative absolute value of x. Then the absolute value of 5 is 5. Distance from 0 to 5 units. So, like for example, we have the positive value of 5. So, going to the right, kasi positive. And the absolute value of negative 5 is 5 also. So, bakit? Going to right. So, kung papansinin nyo, yung distance. So, from 0 to 5. And that is also a positive. Next, we have examples. So, find the absolute value of each number. So, we have the example number 1, the absolute value of negative 2, 3. So, since sinabi natin kanina, the absolute value of a number is never negative. So, kung ano yung nasa loob ng absolute or dalawang bar, ay i-write lang natin. So, we have negative 2/3 and that will be positive 2/3. Next, we have example number 2, the absolute value of 0 is 0. And absolute value of 1.5 also 1.5. And absolute value of 12 is also 12. Absolute value of 2/3. So same as the example number 1. So we have also 2/3. And the absolute value of negative 0.5. So natakpan lang yung ating isang bar. So, we have 0.5. So, ganun lang kadali. Kumuha ng absolute value of a number. Next, find the sum of the given absolute values. So, let's have number 1. We have the absolute value of 5. We have 5 plus the absolute value of negative 2. We have positive 2 and 5 plus 2 is equal to 7. Next, the absolute value of negative 3 plus the absolute value of negative 8. So, the absolute value of negative 3 is 3. Then, plus the absolute value of negative 8 is 8. So, 3 plus 8 will be 11. Next, the absolute value of negative 7 plus the absolute value of positive 5. So, we have the absolute value of negative 7. We have 7 plus the absolute value of 5. We have 5. And 7 plus 5 is equal to 12. Next, keep in mind two integers that are the same distance from 0 in opposite directions, kahit opposite sila. So, the integers, halimbawa, the integers positive 8 and negative 8 are opposites, di ba? So, since each of them are each 8 units from 0, so ang kanilang absolute value ay 8 din. So next, the absolute value of a number is its distance from 0 on the number line. The absolute value of positive 5 is 5 and the absolute value of negative 5 is also 5. Next, opposite numbers have the same absolute values. So the symbol, yung dalawang bars, are used for the absolute value of a number. So ganun lang kadali yung ating discussion. And alam ko, you're ready to answer the following. So, open your book on page 39 and answer accuracy A and B. Remember that give thanks to the Lord, for He is good. His love endures forever. From the book of Psalms, chapter 107, verse 2. And that's all for this day. Thank you and God bless.